Hello, we are excited to be here with you today to have the chance to share our experience. My name is Beth Campbell, and I teach Family and Consumer Sciences.
And I'm Troy Smith. I teach business, finance, marketing, computer science, and IT, and we're both at Apex Friendship Middle School. We would first like to thank all of the SummerSTEM immersion hosts. Thank you for providing insight, connections, meaningful examples, and inspiration to shape this project, to inform our teaching practices, support of our students, moving forward. It was a wonderful experience, start to finish.
Absolutely. Specifically for Biogen, being able to see how their educators take the complex field of scientific research and make that accessible to a group of students was so helpful. The timing of our project with the start of the global pandemic, the information we got from RTI with that up-to-the-minute research that they were doing on ways that companies and corporations, employment trends were all being impacted by the pandemic really informed the choices we made with our students. Novozyme, of course, gave us great curriculum links to food science and connections with their household cleaning team and what they were doing to help with the fight against COVID. But also through Novozymes, we really learned a lot about development of healthy teams, from listening to the ways that their employees enjoyed working with each other. And with the National Institutes for Health, the knowledge that they provided with just some great background information about the pandemic and the coordinating of diverse efforts was extremely helpful.
Project overview. Students worked to answer the question, how can local businesses best respond to the global pandemic? From there, they created their own driving question with more specific focus. They did have the option to select an industry or a type of business, or they could focus on a specific strategic response from a particular business.
And this is really great. Troy and I teach different things, but we do have that common thread of being career and technical education. So students in my class were able to focus on businesses more related to our curriculum, including childcare centers and restaurants. And students in Troy's class were able to take more of a small business and entrepreneurship approach. But the research that the students conducted, they could have read current articles, surveyed customers, interviewed employees and business owners, and then their finished recommendations could be pushed out in a number of ways, including slides, infographics, and videos.
Going with the flow is a great title for this slide. Obviously, with COVID, we had some curveballs that were thrown at us. We knew that the main idea was getting kids to work collaboratively, and for some it was a struggle to work with their peers, and so we found ways for them to still work collaboratively, but this way they were working with local businesses to answer their questions.
Another thing we found as we were approaching the end of the project, we really learned that kids had all kinds of different things on their plates as they and their families dealt with the pandemic and the adjustments that were necessary, and just the challenges of remote learning. So we found that for some kids, this multi-step long-term project was just more than they could effectively manage. We still wanted them to have the same opportunities and empowerment to look at this problem that the whole world was facing and have the chance to team up and come up with some solutions. But we did find that we needed to offer an alternate so they could still address some of those issues, but in a more streamlined and direct way.
Reaching our audience, we knew that the audience from the beginning was going to be getting bigger and bigger than our original plan. And so we know we reached so many local businesses. Our students became our audience as they learned. And we worked with the Apex Chamber of Commerce as a way to connect the students and find some local insight. And obviously, again, our driving question was, how can local businesses best respond to the global pandemic?
All right, and when it came time to assess our kids, of course, there were some things that were going to be familiar as far as what students typically expect to be graded on with a project. But I did just want to call out 3 of our aspects with this. When we talked to the kids about their work being supported by research, we had some fun conversations about earning the right to give advice and what that looks like. That you don't just get to go around saying stuff and have people listen to you, but instead you needed to come from a place where you'd earned the right to call yourself an expert in that specific area And that comes through hard work. It comes through research and having a lot of conversations. We also talked to the kids about their advice being actionable and practical. That truly we are living in a time when business owners are at a loss for how they can best reach customers and connect with customers and help customers feel confident in using their services. And so we wanted kids to focus on being able to provide some real concrete steps that businesses could take, and that would be a great way for their work to be important. And also, we talk about students spelling things correctly and using good grammar. And for this, having that authentic audience really helped to drive home the point that their work did need to be publishable.
This slide really is just to show the different types of graphs that they did create, that they found, and it offered a whole lot of critical thinking. They were able to analyze the data that they pulled from different restaurants or different businesses, really, and then create the graphs and then be able to share with us what they had learned through that work.
This student work highlights a group that chose to make a website as a way to share their results, which we loved because they were really focused on being customer ready and audience ready. If a business owner were to go to their website seeking out some of this information and advice, there just were lots of places for them to click to find the information that would be most relevant and important to them.
In the top left corner there, you see some national research. The bottom part of the slide is also national guidelines, but over there on the right, you can see where their research went from national right down to local fence companies and production companies, where they found all sorts of just valuable information that they were able to share with us and with the local businesses.
Absolutely. When it comes to the students analyzing the results, whether they conducted surveys or interviews or did research, I really love the way this student talks through the results of her survey. You can see the critical thinking that's taking place. As she reads what came in from her survey results, she actually had pictures of all of her different survey results and then really reflects on that. And you're able to see the process as she thinks through what information is going to be most meaningful, what is going to best inform the advice that she then offers to the business community.
Our takeaways, what I want to speak to was how this project was important to me. And that is because it forced me to work outside of my comfort zone. In turn, the students were able to connect with so much more than what I could have imagined when we started this.
Troy and I both just felt really good throughout this whole experience, knowing that we were taking this crazy situation and really empowering our students to better understand it and then to offer that understanding to a greater community. We're extremely grateful to the team at SummerSTEM and to our industry partners for the training that helped support us to be able to offer this unique and engaging experience to our students.
Thank you again. I hope that y'all get out of it what we have.